Today we are going to be talking about rate of change. There are just some key rules. Rate of change describe how one quantity changes relative to another quantity, right? Rate is just equal to change in quantity all over change in time or unit, right? Unit can be so many different things. Always include unit in your answer. It's very important. Units are very important in science. Common mistakes students make are leaving answers without unit, right? Confusing the total amount with rate, dividing in a wrong order, ignoring the time unit in word problem, because usually sometimes word problems turn to be a little bit tricky to students and they cannot really figure out some key parts in the problem and they get confused. Don't be confused, just take your time and answer the question. And these rate of change problems in the TEAS exam can range from something as simple as a patient receives 800 milliliters of IV fluid over 4 hours. Find the rate per hour, right? So you see that the rate here is just gonna be equal to volume over time, which is equal to 800 milliliters over 4 hours. So this is just gonna be equal to 200 milliliters per hour. So that would be what that would be the rate at which the patient will be receiving the IV fluid, and this is exactly what nurses and doctors they do at the hospital. They set it up and make sure that the patient is receiving IV fluid with respect to the time that the patient needs to get that medication. All right, let's look at even more difficult problem. A nurse can prepare a batch of medical supplies in 4 hours at the same constant rate. How many batches can the nurse prepare in 1 hour? Right? So you see that the rate here is equal to um, the number of batches, which is the quantity, the number of batch all over change in time, right? All over time. The number of batches that they are giving us is one batch. All this divided by 4 hours. So you see, the answer is just gonna be what 1/4 batch per hour, right? So the answer is just gonna be C because we want to prepare this in 1 hour, right? Look at question 2. A clinic's patient count decreased from 400 patients to 300 patients over 5 days. What was the average rate of change per day? So the rate here is just going to be equal to what? The number of patients, all over, change in the number of patients, right? Change in that. Make sure you put change in the number of patients all over change in time, which in this case is in days. So this is just going to be equal to 400 minus 300. Make sure you put the unit. In this case is patients. All this divided by change in time, which is just 5 minus 0, right? Because or um you can just put 5 days down here. So which will be equal to 100 divided by 5 is 20. So it will be 20 patients per day. So the answer is gonna be B. Question 3. A healthcare worker earns 48,000 per year. Their salary increases by 2,400 over 1 year. What is the rate of change in salary per year, right? In this case, the rate is equal to the quantity, right? The quantity is equal the change in income. Change in income or change in salary all over the time, right? So you see that, you know, uh, the change in the income is already specified here is 2400. We don't need to do anything else. The change in income is specified. You see that the change in income is already specified, which is what? The change in income is already specified, which is 2400. So there is nothing here to change. So $2,200. All this divided by the change in time is just in 1 year, right? It's in 1 year. So you see that this answer is just gonna be $2,400 per year. So the answer is gonna be C. If you have any question, you can let me know in the comment section. Thank you.